is the second of 2 short videos just sort of introducing the idea of correcting posture. Please see the first one for kind of an overview and also just some habits and positions and movement patterns that you can hopefully change. This will be a short exercise program that you could do daily or even every other day to basically change the muscle tension so that in addition to being aware of your posture, you'll also develop some automatic help so that muscles will just want to hold you in a better position. Think of like a really tall tower that has support cables. If you can picture like a really high cell phone tower that instead of swaying in the wind, they want to strengthen it so it doesn't fall over. And you've got cables coming down to the ground. So imagine your posture is that tower. Unfortunately with life, because we're visually oriented, everything is in front of us. So we drive here, we pick up children and pets here, we work on a computer, we look at our phones. Think of those cables, support cables, getting too tight, right? So we kind of tend to round forward with gravity. We want to loosen these cables, but also tighten the cables behind us. So pretty much nobody has too much tension and strength and has a posture that's too far posterior to the back, unless you have, unfortunately, some weird neurological injury. But most of us, without major nerve damage, we all tend to err on this side. So this is meant towards the basic postural flaws that we see most commonly. So we want to loosen everything that's too tight in the front, and we actually want to tighten, not in a bad way, but in a good way, your shoulder blade muscles that pull your shoulder blades down and back, your strong muscles in the back of the neck that can pull your head back. So while I'm standing here, your idea of ideal posture would be a plumb line through the top of the head so that your ear is in line with your shoulder and your shoulder is in line with your hip, and you've got your weight just a little towards the balls of the feet, less on the heels but kind of the midfoot, and your hip is right over that point. So my posture is not perfect, but I work on it, so fairly decent plumb line right here. So most of us, the biggest problem is more thoracic and upper body, although your lower body and your trunk, your core, your lumbar spine, the way your hips and knees are positioned, even your feet, how strong your little arch muscles are, all affect it. But usually a lot of our postural flaws are from thoracic up. So that's what I'm dealing with here in this video. If you want more for trunk and lower body, I've got core stability exercises which can help in other videos. So I will start with 2 strength exercises to help get some of the typically more weak muscles more active, to tighten them up. So we're going to tighten the cables behind us, and then a couple stretches to loosen everything that gets too tight in front of us. So the first one is called a chin tuck or cervical retraction. So I'm going to get a little closer just so you can see right now what I'm doing. Typically, if you have to spend too much time staring at a computer screen or driving, we'll get this kind of forward head posture. Do an experiment at some point. Look in the mirror, and if you can kind of look sideways, kind of see where your ear is. A lot of us have that ear way in front of the shoulder. So what happens is these muscles back here in the lower part of your cervical spine that should be nice and strong and have more tension, they get weak. And then, in order to look up, we're exerting a lot of pressure and strain on these little tiny muscles at the base of the skull, called your suboccipitals. So a lot of times people get headaches starting from there, and it's just because there's so much strain all the time on these little muscles. So if you get headaches after driving a lot, after being on the computer a lot, you very well might have just some muscular stuff going on where you're a little too weak here and then too tight here. So a chin tuck reverses that. What you do, you can put your back to a wall, but I'll show you here first. You're basically trying to push your head straight back. So not looking up, you want to keep your eyes level. Imagine you have a shelf, your chin is on the shelf. You're just going to slide your chin back off the shelf. It looks silly. If you make a double chin, you're doing it correctly. And that's going to strengthen these lower muscles here for you. So you would tuck your chin. So you're kind of lengthening right through this upper part. You should feel a little stretch here. This is contracting a little lower, and you're making this lovely, crazy double chin posture. Sorry, it's not flattering, but when you exercise that, it will do you good. You'll look taller, you'll have better posture for it. So that is a chin tuck. Think of a turtle pulling its head back into the shell. So if you need a little help figuring out what to do, 1, do it in front of a mirror. 2, find a wall, put your back to the wall, and then if your posture has issues, you probably won't get your head to touch. So again, please don't cheat by looking up. So we don't need this. This isn't bad, but that's not going to help you. Instead, get a pillow, maybe thicker than this, behind your head. So that way now you can feel what you're doing. And you're pushing your head straight back into the pillow, making the funny double chin. And you'd hold 5 or 10 seconds and then relax. Push back, chin tuck, hold, don't forget to breathe, and relax. So try 5 to 10 repetitions, tucking back, holding for a few seconds, once or twice a day, even if you can get it in every other day, and that will start helping your posture because we're going to physically tighten these lower cervical muscles that can stabilize you and your deep stabilizers. So chin tucks. We're going to work a little lower down for the next exercise, our shoulder blades. So often we get the shoulder blades rounding forward and up. So go to Hannaford, go to the grocery store, go to your food mart, wherever you shop, Walmart. You'll see people walking around like this and their palms face backwards when they walk. Why is that? That's because we're really tight typically in your internal rotators, everything that hauls your shoulder inwards and upwards. So if you can start walking with your palms facing each other instead of backwards, that's a good step. So just something to look at. It's kind of interesting. So we want to pull the shoulders open, back, and down. Think about your shoulder blades pinching together, but also dropping down a little bit. That's the hard part. So instead of a shrug, which is easy to do, find your neutral and then lower. So that's a good way to start this. This is called scapular depression. It's the only type of depression you want in life, right? So we're going to lift. So shrug, go to neutral, and then what we're after is that downward movement. So again, you can put your back against a wall to help you feel that movement. So feet are out a little bit, get the shoulder blades against the wall, pull them down and back, and you'd hold. Again, 5 or 10 seconds, and relax. Shoulder blades squeeze down and back. Try not to arch your lower back to make that happen. If you're really stiff in your shoulder blades, you might not have much movement downwards. So you might feel like at best all you're doing is getting your shoulders down away from your ears. That's okay. So and then, if you can get the hang of the shoulder blades, pulling downwards and back, turn your palms forward. And you should hopefully feel a stretch on top of the shoulder if you're tight, and in the front of the chest. So again, back to a wall. You're pulling your blades down, back, palms forward. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Shoulder blades back, down, palms forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that one's tricky, but if you do it right, my friends, you should feel a little soreness right here at the bottom of your shoulder blades. Don't overdo it, don't make yourself lame and really painful, but a little soreness to let you know you are working those muscles. So, cervical retraction, your shoulder blade squeeze down, back, and palms open. And then let's give you a couple stretches. So one is just a chest stretch to loosen everything that's tight through here. A fairly easy way to do this if you're really tight is just turn your palms forward and extend your arms back a little bit. Try not to arch your back. So just actively holding, and hopefully that will give you a pull right through there. We want stretches to be held at least 30 seconds. So a 10-second stretch does a little something for you, but really to make permanent changes and get more flexible, muscles need 20 to 60 seconds, so 30 is kind of a good guideline. So if that's a little too easy, what you can do is find a doorway. This is a little too wide if you're a beginner, but get a standard sized doorway. Put your palms on either side of the door, step through the doorway, bend your front knee, and then just hold a stretch there. Don't let your shoulders shrug. Try to relax them down, and that will stretch your chest. If you're really tight in your forearms and your biceps, you might feel it here, and that's okay. But as that loosens up, you'll probably feel more in the chest. So 2 or 3 repetitions, 30-second holds. See if you can do that at least once a day. Okay, one other stretch for you. Upper traps. When people say I hold my tension in my neck, they usually mean they have a knot or a trigger point in this muscle here in your upper trapezius. Easy way to stretch it. Take the hand you're stretching, the palm. You're just going to kind of push it down to the floor like you're telling the dog down. Stay down. And then you're bending your head away from it. So not twisting, but just a little bend. If you need more, you're going to take the hand behind your back. You're going to gently pull down through the shoulder using your opposite hand, and then bend your head to the side. And again, you'd hold 30 seconds. So these 4 little exercises, the cervical retraction, your shoulder blade squeeze against the wall, chest stretch, and then this upper trap stretch. That will go a long way, my friends, to help with posture. And the nice thing is using exercise to help improve posture. You don't have to think about it as much. You just have to pay attention while you're doing the exercises, get them right, strengthen the weak spots, relax and loosen the tight spots, and then your muscles eventually are going to really dislike being here, because you're going to tighten everything in the back that holds you upright, and you're going to loosen everything here. So the nice thing with training through exercise is that the bad postures are not going to feel natural after a while. A better posture will become more natural, so you don't even have to think about it. So this is a fairly brief little introduction. I will plan to make some more posture videos, more in depth, give you more options of different things you can do. Of course, you can add equipment. You can make some posture-related exercises part of your fitness routine. Anything that works the upper back or the neck, things like rows, using resistance bands. But this is a good kind of basic, anyone can get it in throughout the day type of program. So I hope it helps you. Have better posture, my friends, and be well. This is Galzeerah Fitness signing out.